All right, we'll go in 10. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Stewart's Creek High School Spring 2023 Athletic Signing Celebration. This afternoon, we're going to be celebrating several athletes from 6 different sports, as well as the first for Stewart's Creek Athletics. That's going to be our male and female athletes of the year, as sponsored by Joel Laird State Farm Insurance. To get us kicked off this afternoon, I want to invite to the podium our head girls soccer coach, Miss Jennifer Moore. Coach Moore.
So the first athlete we're going to bring up here is Kinley Buena. I've had the pleasure of coaching Kinley for the past 2 years. When I first met her, she was extremely quiet, but I could immediately tell how passionate and competitive that she was. She has been an integral part of the girls' soccer team since her freshman year, and has been a starter for the past 4 years. Every time she stepped on the field, she became an offensive threat to any team we faced. Oftentimes, she faced being double-teamed or being followed the entire time. So during her time playing at Stewart's Creek, she has scored 65 goals, many of those coming during high-pressure and important games, such as district championship game. Kinley was named to the first team All-District during her freshman, sophomore, and senior years. She was awarded District Offensive Player of the Year as a sophomore, and was named the 2022 District Tournament Offensive MVP. She was also a part of helping the team win multiple district regular seasons, district championship appearances, the 2022 AAA District Championship, and state tournament appearances. Not only is she a talented athlete, she is also an outstanding student. She's graduating with a 3.88 GPA. The love this player has for the game is like no other, and even through the injuries and adversity, she continues to push through. Her toughness, competitive nature, and offensive threat is going to be missed next season, but know that this is going to be a huge asset as she moves on to the next level. We are extremely proud and excited to watch Kinley as she continues her playing career at Malo State Community College. So please help me in congratulating Ms. Kinley Buena.
Okay, Kinley, if you want to act like you're signing, even though you've already signed, go ahead and do that.
Do you want to pretend?
Coach, you go ahead and Coach, go ahead and get over there. Coach, continue to join Coach Moore with Coach on either side. Teammates, go ahead and get ready to walk up there as well. Senior teammates. All right, senior teammates, go up there and join them. Coaches, go ahead and write the teammates as well. Anybody else need picks? Hey, let's hear it for Kinley.
All right, we have another soccer player signing today, and that's Amanda Carr. I've also had the pleasure of coaching Amanda for the past 2 seasons, and she's been a part of the soccer team for the past 4 years. In the 2 years that I've known her, I've seen her grow into a strong and confident player and leader. During her senior season, Amanda was voted as team captain and phenomenal job. She is not a loud individual, but instead leads by example on and off of the field. On the field, she's asked to play multiple positions and roles, and always says, yes ma'am, and does whatever she can and does it to the best of her ability. A quality that's something many colleges look for. Amanda had 14 goals and was named 2022 First Team All-District, and has also helped the team win multiple district regular seasons, multiple district championship appearances, the 2022 AAA District Championship, and multiple state tournament appearances. Off of the field, Amanda always goes the extra mile to make sure that other people are taken care of, ensures that she gets to know all the players on the team, and always made everyone feel welcome. No matter what she faced, she always came to practice with a positive attitude and a work ethic that was beyond no other. She always put herself before the team as well. This season, she showed exemplary character when she sustained a season-ending injury, and although her season came to a quick stop, and it showed her character by when she was still cheering on her team and being supported from the sideline, even though I know she probably wished she was on that field. Not only is she a talented athlete, she's also an outstanding student, graduating with a 4.0 GPA, showing what a true student athlete is. Her toughness, competitiveness, and leadership is going to be missed tremendously, but all these qualities is going to help her succeed at the next level. We are extremely proud and excited to watch Amanda as she continues her playing career at Union University. So please help me in congratulating Amanda Carr.
Senior teammates. Check. All right. So, at the start of the season, I gave my expectations for my wrestlers. And those expectations are our core values. And our first core value is excellence in all we do. It was on the wrestling mat, in the classroom, or even on the soccer field. This wrestler has displayed exceptional characteristics of what it is to do excellence in all we do. We also talk about integrity first, doing the right things. With this wrestler, I don't have to worry about what she's doing, where she's going. She's a great person overall. And that's the great thing about this wrestler. Oh, sorry. All right, and then finally, service before self. JFK asked, not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? And it's the same thing we expect out of our wrestlers. So last year, we only had 3 wrestlers. This year, we had 8. And next year, potentially, we're going to have 14. She was a key
role in recruiting these girls and helping this sport grow. So for the first time in the 10-year history of Stewart's Creek, we will now have our first female collegiate wrestler, Katie Rowe.
I coach cross country and track and field. I'm here to introduce Grant Sexton, who is signing with Milligan University to run cross country and track. He has been part of the cross country and track team for all 4 years. He was actually voted captain his sophomore year. So that's got to tell you something about his leadership roles. He's overcome a few injuries, but over the past 4 years, he has still recorded 3,849 miles. I did the math. Not exactly sure if that's all, because sometimes he would forget to upload his runs. But anyway, in cross country, he PR'd last year 5K with a 16:57. He also was one of 4 state qualifiers in school history to qualify for state, and actually 2 of them were this year. In track, he has participated in 4 events. Last year, he competed in all 4 events, almost every track meet. He would run in the 4x8 relay, the 1600, the 800, and the 3200. At sectionals last year, he set the school record in the 1600, running a 4:39. And that was after running the 800, and it was about 100 degrees. Qualified for state and ran at state that year also. He was the first 1600 qualifier in school history to go to state. So even with the records in the state qualifying, his biggest contribution to Stewart's Creek cross country and track programs will be his leadership, and bringing it in will never be the same. Hear it for Grant.
Good afternoon. My name is Alana Smith, and I'm joined here with Miss Madison Kelly. We are the cheer coaches at Stewart's Creek. We have the honor and privilege of bringing you guys the information about one Mr. Trey Churchwell. This exceptional athlete. I could go on and on and on and on about his athleticism, about his skill, about his work ethic. But I could also talk about just what a compassionate, caring teammate he truly, truly is. The boy can do whatever skill you put in front of him. And sometimes it only takes about 30 minutes for him to learn it, which is really, really incredible. He shows up for every practice. He even shows up for practices that aren't his. There are times where we would come into our JV practice and there's Trey getting in extra practice, extra reps. That's just the type of athlete that he is. I think that because we started off on a rocky path, he was a student of mine during COVID year. And we all know that COVID was tough on all of us. But Coach Kelly stayed on Trey and saw something special in him. And we are so, so grateful that she did, because when he showed up for a tryout, I thought, oh no, because he didn't even turn in his assignments during COVID. But he showed us what he could do, and we had to have him. And so, like I said, I'm glad that we had the opportunity, even if it was just 1 year with him. There's not a school in the country that has not asked us about him. And that says a lot. That's huge. We were at Nationals this year, and this was a first-time experience for us where we have coaches from all over the country that are watching our kids. They stand around and watch as we practice, which is huge. But we've never, ever had D1 schools run and chase us down and not ask us about Stewart's Creek. They wanted to know, where's Trey? We need to talk to Trey. We have to get Trey. That's not something that happens all the time, but it's only because of the work that he puts in all the time. So we are so proud of you. We are proud of your commitment to our team. We are proud of the way that you came in a year and added to the legacy of our program. He has a stunt partner that is amazing, and as amazing as he is, he always gives her the props. He always says, she makes me look good. That's the type of kid this is. So we are very sad to see him go off to Western Kentucky University, which is an amazing program, but we are so very excited and so thrilled to see what you do there and how you build their program, because we know that you are going to do amazing things. Not only that, before we take this picture and let him sign, he has been given an amazing opportunity this week. One of the top programs in Florida that is just celebrity status has reached out to him. That we've never had that before. That is truly unbelievable. Top Gun, large co-ed, has reached out to Trey, and that is something that he's considering as well. So we are super proud of you. Keep reaching for the stars. We're just excited to see what you do next.
let's get senior cheer teammates up there first. Teammates, scoot a little to the left, your left. Coaches. All right, Trey, go ahead and stay up there. Let's get Trey's multiple sport athlete. Let's get football teammates up there as well, please. Senior football teammates. Scoot a little to the left. Trey, go to the opposite side. Or Dory, go to the opposite side. Go to the opposite side by right. Don't step off the front. There you go. All right, now let's hear it from Trey Churchwell.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Coach Caudill, and first thing I'd like to do is just congratulate all the athletes that are signing today and their accomplishments. In particular, I'd like to also say a few things about Trey Churchwell, given that he was also a football player, and Coach Smith spoke about his commitment. And I've actually been in an ambulance with Trey Churchwell after a practice before, and can truly say that from a pound for pound perspective, he's one of the best athletes that has ever been in our program as well, and certainly had his opportunities in football as well. And very, very proud of you, Trey, and for your future at Western. The first one that we have is Nathan Curry. One very awesome fact about Nathan is that he's the first non-kicker that's committed to a Division I school in our program's history. He's going to be a snapper at the University of North Alabama, which is transitioning to Division I program with the new coaching staff, with a lot of excitement. And he's been a 3-year starter for us and has never had a bad snap in 3 years, both from a punting and kicking perspective. Just very, very proud of him, proud of his family. I want to thank his parents, Scott and Suzanne, for raising an incredibly hard worker, self-starter, and just a very respectful, and disciplined player that's been in our program and has definitely left it better than he's found it. And very excited to follow his success at the University of North Alabama in the years ahead.
Senior teammates.
All right, next up for us is Taden Munavong. And a few things about Taden is he's been a 3-year starter for us, which at the 6A level is incredibly hard to do and requires a lot of mental maturity, especially as a sophomore, to do that. There's so many things from a football perspective that I could say about Taden and looking at his stats over 3 years in preparation for this. I kind of whittled it down to one stat, but I'm not sure how many high school football players in the history of high school football can say that they've done what I'm about to say. This past year, Taden scored a touchdown in 4 different ways. He scored a touchdown throwing the ball, he scored a touchdown receiving, he scored a touchdown rushing, and he scored a touchdown returning, which is very, very hard to do and very impressive. He was also an all-region player as a sophomore, battled a few injuries as a junior, and was also an all-region player this past year as a senior. I want to also say a little bit about the school that Taden is committed to. He's going to be joining a former Red Hawk, Gabe Walker, at center up in Kentucky, and the level of recruiting that they do is really impressive. Their head coach has visited here twice to see Taden. It is a very high academic school. Every 4 years they take an overseas trip to Europe to play in a game against a semi-professional team in Europe. Taden has a 4.0 GPA and just represents everything that's great about our football program and about our school. Also want to thank and recognize his baseball teammates and his baseball coaches as well, who I know have been a huge part of his journey in helping shape him into the honors that he's received and for his future success at center. And also, lastly, want to thank and recognize his parents, Tapa and Vatsana. It would be hard for me to name 2 parents that are more trusting of our program and our coaches, and just truly have raised Taden right. He's a young man that my own 2 sons talk about a lot and want to grow up and emulate. And so I'm very proud of Taden and can't wait to follow you at center.
right, first of all, congratulations to all the signees, but also parent guardians. What a great accomplishment. Kids, signees, I want to encourage you, be sure you say thanks to those parent guardians. Be sure you talk to those assistant coaches that really helped you on your journey. We got Nate Severance, who's going to be signing with Cumberland University today. I'll let them get settled, and we'll carry on. Nate Severance. So the first thing about Nate is work ethic. This is a kid that has, worked his tail off from day one. His body makes me unhappy with myself. We work hard in the weight room, we work hard on the practice field, but he works hard every other time. I'm not sure that he sleeps. We have a mentality in our program about wearing a hard hat, carrying a lunch pail, and going to work every day, and that's what Nate Severance does. He changed his body, he got to work, he learned baseball. His speed is something I'm not sure I can describe. It's different. So in baseball, if you steal a bag, you're supposed to be safe around 3 to 4 times out of 10, right? In the last 2 years, he's had 33 attempts. He's been thrown out 3 times. His speed has changed our team, our program, and other guys are buying into it. I remember the first day in the weight room when we got together and talked about we're going to run to win. He's an example of that. It's fun to watch him run the bases, but he's also got power. He's hit 8 home runs the last 2 years. He's also got character. He's a great young man. He's one of the ones that my kids look up to. But he's also a dugout guy. In baseball, sometimes the dugout dies, and he's the guy that gets everybody kind of locked back in. Nate is going to be a really good player, and Cumberland is going to be a really good fit, and we are extremely proud to have been around Nate Severance, Cumberland University.
All right, I know if you got a program, it suggests that Gage Hoover is the next one that's going to sign for baseball. But the reality is he's got several offers and doesn't plan on signing until after the season. So I think the plans are that there's going to be a smaller reception for that when it takes place. I'll tell you right now, he needs to be selected. Gage, step down. I'm talking about you. No, go ahead, step down. We'll get you back up here at some point. But anyway, it's my privilege. I know I said this a little bit earlier. This year is our first time ever to have a male athlete of the year and a female athlete of the year. The parameters were given to me by the sponsor, Joel Laird, and Joel's not able to be here with us today, but a couple representatives from his office are here, and there'll be some pictures later on with those gentlemen. Along with this award comes a $500 scholarship to the school of the choice of the male recipient and the female recipient. And so I'm going to step out of the way, and I'm going to let a couple of the male athlete of the year's coaches come and say a few words about him. Coach Caudell and Coach Howard.
All right, I'd first like to say this. Joel is a really close friend of mine. We're in Bible class together at church, and we actually played on the same golf team at our golf tournament this past Friday. And you know, the values that he represents, the father that he is. He has 4 kids of his own. He has an office in Smyrna and Murfreesboro. And you know, Joel was a multi-sport guy. He was a college football player, and I don't think it goes as a surprise that this award is going to a multi-sport athlete. Sometimes in a bigger school, I think it can, right or wrong, it can be tempting to maybe feel like you've got to choose one path to be great at something, which is not true at all. You look at Trey Churchwell, you look at Taden and several others today, and certainly this young man has proven that you can be great at both. And speaking from personal experience, I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't play baseball. I was challenged in a different way by those coaches and by that team that I couldn't have been challenged in football. And the multi-sport athlete we have today is one of the best, if not the best, that I've ever had the privilege of being around and coaching. Gage, in 198 pass attempts, only threw 2 interceptions, which is absolutely incredible to be that precise, to make such good decisions as a leader and as a quarterback, and was a 68% completion percentage his junior year, and roughly a 60% his senior year. I'm also incredibly impressed with how he's dedicated himself. I wish our weights coaches were here. Unfortunately, we've got several coaches that are tied up in class, but one of the things I think that has gone into success, not just in football, but in baseball as well, is the fact that Gage has committed himself to the weight room and to getting stronger. And if you watch him hit a baseball like I have in several games this year, you'll notice that you know, he's very strong and he makes solid contact and he has a great swing. But he's also definitely ready for a college weight program. You know, I'm just very honored to have been in his life, very honored to work alongside Coach Howard and Coach Bartlett over the years. And it's just been seamless and effortless to share the athletes that we have. And I think that has contributed to his success in both sports. Just very proud of him, very proud of his parents, Mike and Angie, his younger brother as well, Michael, and just been praying for what's next for him, and very excited to see what happens and what he chooses. And anyways, that's all I have to say.
All right, Gage, now you can go to the platform. Mike, Angie, and everyone go up here. Go ahead.
So I'm going to talk about Gage from the kind of the baseball end of things. Love this kid. We try to teach our kids to live on the edge of confidence and arrogance when you're playing a competitive sport. Gage is the definition of that. He looks like a dog, he plays like a dog, and he runs our dugout. He is having one of the best statistical years I've seen since I've been coaching for 23 years in high school baseball. When he hits the ball, if it's elevated just a little bit, it's going to go over the fence. It's ridiculous. His numbers, I'll get to those in a minute, but somehow he's a throwback player and a modern player at the same time, if that makes sense. So he's like a caveman. See ball, hit ball real hard, but he's also fancy when he goes up to the batter's box. But Gage stays in the middle. That's what we struggle with our kids. Like, they get too emotional, they get mad, they lose control. He stays in the middle all the time. Now, if you're not doing the right things on the field and you get to that dugout, he's going to let you know, pick it up a little bit, you know, but he stays in the middle, and I appreciate that about Gage. Our program has a pretty good history over 10 years, thanks to Coach Bartlett and the foundation that he set, but this is likely going to be the greatest offensive player we've ever had in 10 years, and we've had some really good ones. His numbers are ridiculous, and I know some of you don't know baseball stats, but 79 at-bats, 27 singles, 10 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs. Is it 8 now? No, 7 home runs. 38 RBIs, only 9 strikeouts, average of 557. Nobody does that. His OPS means on base plus slugging. That means 1.0 is great. His OPS is 1.568. He is going to be, don't put it on Twitter, but he's going to be the MVP for our district this year. We've already voted on that one. We hadn't done the rest of it. And he should be in the conversation for Mr. Baseball, and he should be on the All-State team. The year he's having, you can't explain it. It's ridiculous. He misses balls for doubles. Really proud of you, Gage. It's hard to be a multi-sport athlete. It's hard to do all that stuff, stay in the weight room, make connections with you got 80 teammates here, and then you got 40 here, and everybody respects you, everybody loves you. Your family is just awesome, and I'm just very proud of you. So today, the Joel Laird State Farm Male Athlete of the Year, Gage Hill.
Baseball coaches want to jump up there too? Hey guys, give it up for Gage. You know, one thing I want to add before we get to the Female Athlete of the Year is one of the parameters that the selection process included was those athletes had to be great students, they had to be great athletes, but they had to overcome. And if you didn't know, Gage has had, Mike, 15, 20 different injuries that he's played through. And we're talking about stuff that would put people out of games. He played a couple games with a broken leg in football, and I mean, your labrum, is it still there? We don't know, and it doesn't exist anymore. But on that same vein, not only has he been an example to me, but our recipient for Female Athlete of the Year is one that motivates me each and every day to come to work and do my absolute, total, and complete best. And so I'm asking her coach to come up here and talk a little bit about her. Mr. John Ruttencutter, our boys and girls bowling coach here at Stewart's Creek.
I may not be friends with Joel Lord, but I do pay bills too. So there we go. I do not know what more can be said about the person that I'm about to talk to. Everyone knows who she is coming from the middle school. They talk about her all the time, but they never underestimate her. She's a bowler through and through, always striving to do her best. She has qualified for state individually all 4 years, since freshman year to her senior year this year, even battling through an arm injury the last 2 and finishing in the top 5 every year. She is one of the highest achieving bowlers here at Stewart's Creek High. Her dedication not only was on the individual level, but she has helped bowlers all around her, helping them each day grow on and off the lanes. She helped me coach bowlers, because I'm there mentally, I'm there with helping with that. Which in turn allowed her and her team to qualify for state all 4 years. 5 years in a row the year before, but all 4 years with this girl here. And in so many matches she has led them through. She has fought through immense amounts of pain to achieve some of the things only bowlers wish to do. At the end of her junior year, she had hurt her throwing arm, yet still finished 3rd. I have not seen anyone put more pressure on themselves to do better than Breesy Caudell. But the outcomes are amazing to see. We are one of the most decorated teams in school history because of this lady here. She has the best attitude, a strong personality, and a drive to do the best, even though she missed the bus for state her first year. She will surely be missed as our girls continue to succeed, but her legacy that she has left behind is one to remember. Reese Caudill. No crying.
I'm going to add to what Coach Ruttencutter said. Y'all, the week after, not even a week after this year's state bowling tournament, in which she finished top 5, she had surgery on her bowling elbow. She needed it last year, and she decided to put it off until after the senior year. Y'all give it up for Breezy. All right, guys, at this time, this is going to end the formal part of what we're doing. Okay? So, a couple of things. We've got about 30, 35 minutes or so for reception. I would ask that we